Hello again, folks. It's me. It's that Retro Jo to that single E. And this is Fyter Fest Night 1, followed shortly in the same video as night number 2. We decided to combine these together to give you the full experience. The pay-per-view is split between last Wednesday and this Wednesday, which is actually, I guess, today. So, anyways, the whole video is going to be pushed together. Same for the Great American Bash. Wildcats covering that. A most American prestigious thing to watch. So, anyways, this is night number 1 of Fyter Fest. It was okay. We'll just start and say that. It was an okay thing. Jericho on commentary is fire as always. Match number 1, we had an excellent opening match. A great way to start Fyter Fest. We have MJF and Wardlow versus the Jurassic Express, which consists of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, not the little guy, Mr. Marco Stunt. Very fast-paced, excellent opener, just great chemistry, amazing. Wardlow had an awesome senton bomb. I didn't know a big man could do a bomb like that. It was really good. And finally, through this match, I'd have to say, Jurassic Express finally gets a bit of retribution for all the losses they've had against MJF. There seems to me after this match some tension between MJF and Wardlow because they will lose this match and Jurassic Express took the victory. I was super excited, very happy for them to do that. MJF made him look good. His in-ring talk was just off the charts. It was great. And that's how you get it done. That's how you start the night. That is exactly how you start a pay-per-view, a match like this. Now, moving on. Like I said, it was okay. The whole thing's okay. Started great. Started very, very good, very strong. Match number 2, we have the Women's Championship. Karoshita versus Penelope Ford. Mrs. Superbad. This one had some problems, like the women's division generally has in AEW. This one had a bit of some issues. We'll just say that. There was a lot of telegraphing going on. If y'all don't know what that means, telegraphing is where you see the move about to happen that hasn't happened yet. It's like when you get punched in the face and you move before a punch. That's not how wrestling works. I mean, you do have to telegraph, but there's an art to telegraphing. And this was not done very well in this match. I'm just going to say that. The overall work in there was just average. Nothing super special. Ford tried to cheat a bit with Kip Sabian running in. Did not work for her. And Karoshita will retain her women's championship belts. Now, that moves us on to match number 3, the TNT Championship. Jack Hagar. I did it again, didn't I? I did it again, Joe. I did it again. He is not Jack Swagger no more. Get it through your thick skull. Jake Hagar, folks, versus Cody Rhodes. Oh, wait, you can't say Rhodes because WWE's trademarked Rhodes' last name. Can't do that. It's not really his last name. Everyone knows that almost every wrestler, that name they have is not their name, not their real birth name, so it's fine. So, anyways, yep, this is the TNT Championship. Super aggressive slugfest, in my opinion. Hagar did lose the match. He did lose it. I was surprised. I thought he was going to win this one. I thought Cody had hung it up, and that was the end of the TNT Championship for Cody. But he hung in there. Hagar tried to put the triangle submission on Cody. Did not work. Got reversed into a pin. Hagar thought he had won the match, but he did not win the match. He did not win it. He got pinned, and he was very upset about this. So then he proceeds to knock out the officials. So, according to kayfabe news, Jake Hagar has been suspended for 10 days without pay. That's right. You cannot put your hands on an official. Match number 4, we have Santana and Ortiz versus Private Party with Matt Hardy. This one, this is another. It's like good match, not so good match, decent match. This one surprised me because Private Party were really good, but even when Matt Hardy was there, I thought it was going to be excellent. But it was standard. It was kind of boring. I was yawning a little bit through it. It was nothing crazy. There was a bunch of botches by Ortiz, I noticed. Yeah, just I don't know, wasn't that good. Just kind of kind of the lulls. You had the lulls feeling on that one. Private Party will take the win via the Gin and Juice finisher. Not looking so good for Inner Circle for this pay-per-view. We have Jake Hagar losing his match. Now we have Santana and Ortiz losing. They have lost Sammy Guevara because of recent things that have happened. If y'all don't know, I suggest you look them up. Sammy Guevara has been suspended from AEW, not fired per se. He's just been suspended for some derogatory statements he made early on when he was younger towards a certain WWE wrestler, Sasha Banks. Look it up, you'll see what I mean. But yeah, there were bad things he said. He apologized, but still they're having him gone. So Inner Circle member Sammy Guevara is gone from the Inner Circle for now. Chris Jericho has yet to say anything about this yet, which is smart on his part, honestly. It's very smart. Next, we have the promo of promos. This is the promo that set Twitter on fire. I saw this before I even watched the show, and I was like, man, you kind of ruined it for me. But anyways, we have Taz in the ring with Brian Cage talking about the whole situation with Jon Moxley. Brian Cage was supposed to wrestle Jon Moxley for the championship belt on the second night of Fyter Fest. But since Renee Young, his wife, who works for WWE, has contracted COVID-19, this has been moved to Fight for the Fallen, which is only the following week. So next week is Fight for the Fallen. We have this pay-per-view on TV, then we got another pay-per-view on TV next Wednesday, which is called Fight for the Fallen. They moved the championship match to that, which definitely hurts this thing, but since it's only a 1 week change, it doesn't hurt super bad. I just hope they can finish off strong on night number 2 coming up here very soon in the review. So, but the big thing that really shocked everyone, which blew up Twitter, was Taz basically poked fun at WWE. Didn't call them by name, but they basically he said like in his own words about the whole COVID thing, he says he can't help it that the other ones are running a sloppy shop. That was his words straight out of his mouth. He called basically WWE a sloppy shop. That's the only company he could be talking about because Renee Young works for them and she's the reason why we're not having this match, because keeping the athletes safe. So that was the big thing that happened, the jab at WWE, which I thought it was a good promo. You have to bring the heat sometimes against the other company. That's just what you do. You always got to bring heat. Last match of the night, we have the Tag Team Championship match number 5. Kenny Omega and Adam Rose, current champions, versus the Best Friends, Trent and Chuck Taylor. This started out when Trent's mom pulled up to the arena in a minivan and wished his son, "Good luck on your match, son. Give Mama a kiss on her cheek." I thought that was pretty funny. Had the soccer mom van rolling up to the arena in the same area as FTR. That's where they pull in. That was pretty funny. But was the match good? Usually the Adam Page matches are good, especially championship matches. This one, it was average. It was a very average match. Very average main event. I was kind of disappointed by this match, seeing that it's the end of night 1 and this is what they went with. Kenny Omega was pretty sloppy in this one. He wasn't selling injuries. He kept becoming Super Cena multiple times. Kenny Omega and Adam Page will take the win, even though there are a bunch of false endings. They still happen to pull out that W. Afterwards, FTR offered beers to Kenny Omega and Adam Page in celebration of them retaining their championship belts. And we have Adam Page gladly chugging the beer with FTR. And then we have a moment where Kenny Omega, as y'all know, does not drink alcohol. He went to drink it, then he dumps it out of the ring. This infuriated FTR, and they proceeded to try to fight each other. And then they had Young Bucks run out there to diffuse the situation, which now there's heat between Kenny Omega, Adam Page, and FTR. We will see in the future, I guarantee it, we will see FTR in a championship match versus Kenny Omega, Adam Page. And I can almost write the future on this one, that FTR will take those belts from Kenny Omega and Adam Page. Just remember I said this because I know it's going to happen. They wouldn't have brought FTR over from WWE as the Revival Revival is a huge tag team in the world. They're not going to bring them over without dropping some belts on them. I guarantee it. Anyways, that was all for night 1. And get ready, because I'm about to Thanos snap it into night number 2. In 3, 2, 1, now. And magically, just like that, we are back for night number 2 of Fyter Fest to complete our review of this pay-per-view that was split between last Wednesday and this current Wednesday. We found out last time that Jon Moxley will not be defending his AEW World Championship belt until Fight for the Fallen, which is next Wednesday. So, night number 2, let's kick it off. Let's get this done. Let's breeze through this. Let's see what happened. Match 1 of night number 2 was another tag team championship for those AEW tag team belts, currently held by Adam Page and Kenny Omega. They took on Private Party because they earned the opportunity last week on Fyter Fest Night 1. I have to say, it was a very impressive opening match. Kenny Omega did a lot less Super Cena, which I appreciated from Mr. Omega. Private Party looked very good in this match, but it was not enough to take the belts. Adam Page and Kenny Omega still retain those prestigious AEW Tag Team Championship belts. Now we have match number 2, Lance Archer versus Joey Janela. This was basically just a squash match. It was a good try by Joey, but Lance was just too strong. He's too big of a beast. It was too much for Joey Janela. He ended up putting him through a table and then got the pin. So that moves us on to match number 3. Before this, we had Taz out there, and this was a very weird scenario. So basically, Taz is upset about Jon Moxley having to move the match with the whole COVID thing with Renee Young, but he comes out with Brian Cage in the middle of the ring and basically crowns Brian Cage a champion. And this was very interesting. This was Taz's old FTW championship belt. It's kind of like a WTF moment. What are they going to do with this belt? I don't know. But Taz basically crowned him without no match. And now Brian Cage is wearing that FTW championship belt. Match number 3, we have the Lucha Bros and Butcher and the Blade versus FTR and the Young Bucks. So, overall, I thought this was a pretty good match. Butcher botched trying to pin somebody when he wasn't legal man, and I thought that was kind of silly. He should have known better. Other than that, excellent chemistry, great teamwork with FTR. The Young Bucks and them looked very good together, even though they're going to have to clash here eventually. But with all the good chemistry and good in-ring work, it wasn't enough because the Lucha Bros fought hard back and took that victory. Now we have match number 4. This was a 2-on-1 handicap match with Nyla Rose versus Kenzie Page and Killian King. This, honestly, worst match of all Fyter Fest. It was stupid throwaway, just a squash. Made no sense, has no bearing on any storyline whatsoever. I thought it was dumb. It was very dumb, and it just keeps pushing that Nyla Rose native beastness into our faces. So, I don't know what they were doing with this. Maybe this is a filler match since the Moxley match got postponed. I don't know. I'm assuming that's what it was. So that moves us on. We have 2 more matches left at Fyter Fest. Our next match was Colt Cabana and Stu Grayson and Brody Lee versus SCU. This was crazy, over-the-top fun. It was very chaotic at times, but that's what happens when you have a 6-man tag team match. These things are kind of crazy. They're hard to control. The ref has issues with seeing who's in the ring and who's supposed to be in the ring. Some of the things that happened in this match probably shouldn't happen due to the kind of rules that are in wrestling, but sometimes it happens with that many people. Like I said, it was over-the-top fun. Colt further cemented his Dark Order alignment here with another victory with Brody Lee. So, as we get further and further in the storyline, Colt Cabana is seemingly becoming part of the Dark Order, even though he's a good guy, basically a babyface. He's a babyface among the heels. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. They took the win on this one. Even though SCU put on a great performance, Frankie Kazarian looked very strong in this. But that's all that happened on that one. It was a good match. Very good match. Final match of the night. Final match. This was supposed to be the Moxley match, I guess. But we get something else. We have that storyline of Orange Cassidy beefing with Chris Jericho. I must say, this was easily the best match on the card by far. This is probably Orange Cassidy's best career match that he's ever had. He was very, very quick in the ring. He looked amazing. Chris Jericho put him over so very, very well. And that's something that Chris is very good at. So, even though Chris does take the win in the end, it does not make Cassidy nor Chris look weak whatsoever, even though Chris basically allowed him to look that strong. Orange Cassidy looked amazing. Finishers all over the place, false endings, multiple lion salts. You had everything. Chris pulled everything out for this match, and on Facebook and Twitter, he has said that this is probably his best match of his career. I don't know if I agree with that, but it's definitely up in the top 5. So, anyways, great final match of the night. I loved it, and like always, thanks for watching, guys, and remember to keep it retro.